Hey guys, Operator7 here with a full review of the ASG Scorpion EVO 3A1. This is the first fully licensed airsoft gun to be developed and manufactured in Europe by ASG. There were a lot of expectations about this gun, and let's see if really the gun matches those expectations. Okay, let's begin with the externals. So externally, the gun, of course, is a one-to-one copy of the real steel gun. It's made out of polymer, a very highly durable, very sturdy polymer, which it matches exactly, according to ASG, the polymer of the real steel gun. So it's made to last. You can feel just by touching the gun that it really is very sturdy and it will last a long time. It will take a big beating because basically it is very solid and also heavy. It's not that lightweight, which is great. It adds to the realism of the gun, along with other features that I'll mention in a few minutes. Externally, again, it's very well built. It looks great. But the gun is not all about the looks. It's also about what comes internally, how it shoots and how it performs. And I'll take you also in terms of the operation, which there are a few different things from our day-to-day AEGs. For instance, if you used to an M4, this one has a few twists which are very interesting. Okay, let's begin with the fact that you have to use, or you should use, a 3-cell battery. So you can use a LiPo battery. You can go up to 11.1. I usually prefer going with LiPos, and this is in order to get the gun ready. It's a bit tricky, not really to get to the part where you access the battery, which is here. You just have to unscrew the flash hider. And then unscrew this nut that sits behind the flash hider. Once this is done, just pull the front, basically the handguard, from the gun. Be careful not to lose the charging handle. And now here you've got the location. Let me just take out here you've got the location of where you will basically insert the battery. So here you've got the wiring going into the gearbox, and it comes with a mini Tamiya connection. So, and I'll show you how it's done because it's not easy. It's slightly fiddly. You have to insert 2 of the cells inside the body of the gun, like this. Okay. All the way in. Once they're in there, one of the cells will be left outside, like this. Then you can go ahead, make the connection, and close, and basically reassemble the handguards. This is the only way I found that was the best way to use the battery, basically. And another interesting thing is that once you connect the battery, okay, I don't know if you've heard, there is a small beep coming in from the gun. I'm going to disassemble it again. Just disconnect it again, and I'm going to connect, see if you can hear the beep. Okay, this time I think it was quite clear. So you hear a beep. What is this beep? This beep is an electronic unit that sits inside the gun and that controls the gearbox mechanism, making it fire, first of all, making it extremely responsive when you fire, but also controlling one of the great features of this gun, which is basically the 3-round burst, which is wonderful. And yes, and so the fact that this gun has an electronic device that controls the mechanics, it basically puts it all together in another level. So the trigger response is extremely fast, and it's very, very snappy. Another nice feature I like about this gun is the fact that you can basically fold the stock like this, and it converts into a deadly CQB gun, almost into a pistol, where you can use it with just one hand very easily. It is lightweight, not too heavy, and you can use it with just one hand, so it's wonderful. And along with this, you get a quick spring change system, which I can tell you was very, very useful when I was first playing with the gun, because it was doing around 390-400 FPS with the stock spring, and I had to go to the shop that was in the skirmish that I was playing, and I was able to quickly replace the spring, and I'll show you how to do it. You can also play with this gun without any stock, so you can just remove the stock by pressing on the spring and then just pushing the stock upwards, and then you remove it, and it's basically very small and compact submachine gun, or let's say, sorry, a very small, almost pistol. It's very easy to grip and to control with just one hand. Now I'm going to show you how to basically replace the spring. Okay, so replacing the spring couldn't be easier. Let me just pick up the mag, just so you can see how the gun looks with, without the stock. It's basically very simple and easy to handle. It looks great. So I'm just going to remove the mag, and with a large screwdriver I'll just push, turn, and then back, and it's as easy as this. So this is an M90 spring that will allow me to have around 340 FPS, which is almost the legal limit here in the UK, but you can anytime just swap it with a much more powerful spring. In fact, throughout Europe this comes with a much more powerful spring. It's an M100, and which I will chrono so that you can see how much does the stock gun and the stock spring do perform in terms of FPS. Okay guys, now just to show you how it works. So basically you've got single fire, burst, and then full auto. And basically the selector switch is quite easy to use. It's well synchronized. Sometimes I do find that using it like this, it will get slightly in the way of my trigger finger, but it's something that you'll grow used to. So after a while you'll just get used to this. Another thing I wanted to show you is basically these mags. They are very special mags because they have a small lever here. See, this lever, and this lever will basically come in contact with a small part of the gearbox in here, small lever as well, which will detect if the magazine has any BBs, any rounds or not. And look at what happens when it runs out of BBs. So right now I have BBs. So basically it just ran out of BBs and it stopped firing. So this is completely different from most AEGs that we used to, at least I'm used to use, unless it's we're using PTWs. And then see, there's no waste of rounds, it just stops firing, so you know immediately you're out of rounds. And then once you put on a fresh new mag, it's still on fire, not at least until you pull down this lever. Okay, and now it shoots. So you pull down on the bolt release lever, and this is a great way to emulate how the real gun works, down to the minimum detail of when you're out of rounds and you insert a fresh mag, you have to pull down this lever. So again, another point for ASG for the realism that they wanted to put out on this gun. And in terms of FPS, let's take a look at how the gun is performing. Okay, so now let's see with the stock spring how many FPS can we get out of the Scorpion EVO. Okay, as you can see, we can get a very consistent 400 FPS out of this gun with the stock spring. That's why I had to change to an M90 here in the UK, but it will be basically pretty much a very powerful weapon with quite a bit of range and accuracy, even not just for CQB but also even for outdoor skirmishes, even for woodland skirmishes, where it will perform just like any normal AEG with a longer barrel, a longer inner barrel than this one. It is a great all-round, all scenario usage gun. I highly recommend it. Okay, so let's see how the gun performs in terms of FPS in this case with the M90 spring that I've bought and installed myself. So you can see it's been quite consistent around 336 FPS. Okay, and let's see now in terms of rounds per second with the stock spring. So I'm going to change to full auto. Okay, we're getting around 12 rounds per second with the stock spring. Okay, now I've quickly changed to the M90 spring. Let's see how many rounds per second do we get out of this spring. We get around 13.5 rounds per second, which is a slight increase. Of course, we've got the motors pulling a much weaker spring, but still it's quite a very good rate of fire for this AEG, taking into account that we're using a live 9.9 volt battery, so it is very good performance that this gun can output down the barrel.
Got hit. Both hit. Keep going.
You got guys
They're both hit.
by the missiles, I think, still.
Look out.
There's one good.
Yeah. See if I can.
Can't see him. And fire.
Where? Can't see him.
Somewhere there, I mean. Go, go.
Got two here.
Another neat little feature about this gun is, in fact, the charging handle. As you can see, it works, and again with the bolt release, you can hear very nice sound. And not just you can do this, but it also provides you with access to the Hopup Unit. And this is a very nice Hopup Unit. Just gonna bring it slightly closer, where you can turn, without the use of a tool, you can turn this small knob in increments of 1 click. So this allows you to more precisely control your Hopup Unit and the way that basically the trajectories of your BBs will be throughout the games. So I really like this way of adjusting the Hopup. It's much better than the traditional one, and again, ASG did very well. So this is another nice feature that they've added, now so that you can see. There you go, beautiful. So altogether, this is a very nice package, a gun that shoots very well. It does come at a price. It is slightly more expensive than most AEGs, but this is an AEG that will last most certainly in terms of the externals and the way that the internals were designed. It will last longer for sure, and basically it's a package that comes ready for pretty much most games. The stock here, as you can see, also is collapsible. You've got the first position, then you've got the second position and a third position, making this a very, very nice gun to use not just in CQB situations but also in woodland scenarios, in skirmishes, where you big outdoor scenarios, and also in terms of how you release the mag. You've got the mag release here on the bottom. You can use just your thumb and it's easy, and it's just like the fire selector, which is of course ambidextrous. Also the mag release is ambidextrous, so it's very nice that they've thought out the gun just like the real one, because then it's not only is it ready for people who are left-handed and right-handed, but also it adds to the realism of the gun. So overall, as you can see, the ASG Scorpion EVO is a great gun. I've been skirmishing with this gun for the past 3 months, and I can only say good things about it. It never failed me. It puts pretty much every BB where it's meant. It has, of course, is very accurate. It has pretty much the same range as other longer barrel AEGs. It does have its limitations, of course. It's an airsoft gun, but I mean, in terms of quality of construction, the responsiveness of the trigger, the fact that it is indeed quite realistic, adds to the realism. It is a very nice investment for any airsoft out there, and well, I'll enjoy to play more with this gun in the future. So Operator 7 out. See you next time.